Thank you everyone for being here. I hope you enjoyed the mid-year reset that was released a couple weeks ago. If you haven't done that, feel free to view that video. This one is going to be a more unscripted personal video of me running through the exercises from that mid-year reset. So my hope is that even if this just helps one person to go through this mid-year reset with a clear example of responses to each one of these questions, that would be a huge success. So really grateful for you tuning in. Hopefully you enjoy, and let's get right into it. So the first question in the reflection section is, where have you experienced success or positive progress? So the first area that I'd like to talk about is with work. I've definitely gained a lot of positive progress as it relates to learning and gaining more responsibility. And I've also got involved in sustainability and climate-related client work, which is exactly what I want to do. I got on my first client project that is directly environmentally related. I'm working for a state Department of Environmental Quality, which is like exactly what I want to do. So that has been a huge success there, and really, really grateful for that. Next would be relationships, in which have made a lot of progress. Firstly, moved away from a friend group that was not really supportive of the types of goals that myself and my girlfriend Jules, or actually by the time that this video releases, Jules will be my fiance, so that will have happened during this course of time. And speaking of Jules, she's been absolutely fantastic. Us living together has gone absolutely insanely well. I mean, we have a wonderful space here that I dearly love. I've also been learning about and developing my relationship with God through my conversion to Christianity through this process, which is part of basically my preparation towards marriage, which is she's now my fiance, so that's wonderful news. On the hobbies front, I've reached 1,500 days with reading, meditating, and journaling every single day. Now I'm on like 1,600 or something like that. So that's been a threshold that's been wonderful to cross. I've also started with 3D printing. I've made so many different things around the house, from like fixing our trash can to like all these cool pots that we put all of our various plants into, and garden tools, and you name it. So that's been like a explosion of creativity, as well as with YouTube. I was not and still am not fully comfortable talking in front of a camera, so that's been a huge change and a creative outlet for this new year. We've also tried a new thing every single month, so we've done woodworking and pottery and line dancing. We have glass fusing and watercolor and all these different things, so that's been a wonderful opportunity to learn every single month and get introduced to something that could be a new hobby down the line. With my health, I've also had some positive progress. I had hip surgery a year and a half ago, and I've pretty much fully recovered from that. I'd say I'm at like 99.9% relatively pain-free there, which is great. I've also cut down a lot on my alcohol consumption. I very rarely drink, and I've completely cut out nicotine as well. So those are all positive things. The next question is, where have you experienced failure or challenges? Keeping with these categories, in my work, I didn't get admitted into this program that I really wanted to get into that basically would have sent me to grad school. So that was a bummer. And then also, after I rolled off my previous project, it took me a while to find this new one, and there was just a lot of trials and things that just didn't really go my way during that time period. So that was definitely pretty difficult. With my health, I've been struggling with a sprained ankle for 4 months now, so it's starting to turn into something that's chronic, which I really hope that it doesn't. I'm going to physical therapy now and all of that to try to get that resolved, but that's definitely been a little bit of a challenge. And with my back, I've been dealing with back pain for years and tried everything under the sun, and unfortunately nothing has quite worked yet, so still working there. And personally, I did miss my first day of meditation. One of my first videos on this channel is about that experience if you want to watch, and I have since recovered. I haven't missed another day since, but that was definitely a big failure that I learned from, and using that knowledge to continue on. Speaking of, the next question is, how have you grown and learned from these experiences? So with my successes, I've definitely learned a lot about how to be a leader and be personable while still encouraging people to do the best that they can. That's been something that I've really learned a lot about this year. With my life, I've certainly gained a greater sense of gratitude and awe through my conversion process, meditation, and otherwise. And personally, like through my hobbies, this has been a huge outlet for creativity. I wouldn't have described myself as a creative person in the past, but now I feel like I can. That is a part of me. So I've gained a lot of different skills in that, including creativity. I still can't draw, I still can't paint in that kind of creative way, but making these videos, doing 3D printing and otherwise has been a new creative outlet for me. From my failures, I've also learned probably even more so. My ankle, I need to be way more proactive when I initially acutely hurt something to go to physical therapy like right away. rather than waiting and trying to see whether I can do it. Like, what am I doing? Personally, with my chronic back pain, maybe I should start looking for some other new solutions. I've tried almost everything under the sun, but keyword there is almost, so there's probably some other things that I could try out. With missing a day meditating, I learned a lot from that, so I reaffirmed my why. There are a couple other things that I've switched up. I've set up multiple daily reminders that I have to complete each one of my habits, so that way it's much less likely for me to fall off that streak. I also learned through my work failures to always have backup plans, and while you can create these relationships and work with others, you also still want to be able to not too heavily rely on everyone else and be as self-sufficient as at least you can. So that's been something that I've learned from these experiences in the workplace. I also learned to just try not to force things and let these small and sometimes large miracles come as they may. Now onto the goals section. So the first question is, what do you want the rest of the year to feel like? I want the rest of the year to feel uncomfortable but consistent. I do want to stretch the boundaries of what I'm comfortable with, express my creativity, trip a few times and learn from those experiences. But some of the cornerstones of who I am today and the things that I do is consistency. As you might be able to tell from my 1500 days, I really like doing things every single day, getting 1% better, 37 times better, right? If you do that compounded over a year, and that's a cornerstone of who I am. So uncomfortable, but consistent. I'd also say that I want the rest of 2024 to be a year of learning and reprioritization. So less going out, more personal growth and personal discovery. The next is, what areas of your life will you be prioritizing over the next 6 months? So I want to focus on YouTube, what we're doing right now, which allows me to express my creativity and connect with a true sense of service. Next is, what do you want to accomplish or stop doing by the end of 2024? So now we're getting into more tangible goals. With YouTube, I do want to post a video every other week, which I believe will total about 20 videos by the end of the year. I don't have any goals in terms of subscriber count or anything like that. However, these input goals, right, being able to put the effort towards putting out a video every other week, that's what I'm aiming for. With my relationship with Jules, I do want to get engaged, which if she says yes, which I expect will have already happened by the time that this video comes out, and as well convert, hopefully by the end of the year. With my physical health, I fully want to heal my ankle and my back. To make this tangible, I do want to spend 10 hours a week at least focusing on my physical health. Now that we're on to the last section, I do want to ask, what do you think of this new format? This is a unscripted and more casual version of these types of videos. So let me know what you think down in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think. If you have any suggestions for future videos, if you want more casual or Q&A videos, happy to do those. And thanks so much. And now on to the last section, which is planning. The first question is, if you accomplish all of your goals, how will you feel and what will you be like at the end of the year? So for all of these 3 questions in the planning section, I'm going to be tying it to my YouTube goal, my relationship goal, and my health goal. If I accomplish my YouTube goal, I'll feel helpful and connected. If I accomplish my relationship goal, I'll feel loved and spiritually content. And if I finish my health goal, I'll feel capable and unrestricted. The next question is, what are the intermediate goals that build up to your overarching goals? So for YouTube, I do want to get at least 2 videos ahead in the content schedule, so that way I can afford to take a few weeks off, kind of basically like I'm doing, going to Electric Forest next week, and then the Pacific Northwest the week after that, being able to just take time to go off the grid. I'd love to be able to do that and not come back and feel rushed and all of that. Some other intermediate goals include committing to myself that I will edit a video within 3 days of filming it, and setting some other goals for the bottleneck of this process. Mainly that's research and writing. So I'm going to commit to myself that I'm going to spend 5 hours a week doing research and writing. With my relationship with Jules, I'm going to plan for the proposal, which I already have, or it's already happened. And we'll continue doing 3-month checkups, which are open and honest conversations that we schedule for every 3 months, as you might guess, to be able to just check in with each other, see how we're doing, evaluate our relationship, and go on from there. And lastly, on the conversion front, I do want to start going to church, reading at least 2 Christian books by the end of the year, and start listening to some Christian podcasts. For my health goal, to get me to that 10-hour mark that I set to focus on my physical health every week, I'm going to exercise at least 5 times a week for a full hour. I'm going to do physical therapy as well for an hour at least 3 times a week. And then I'm going to do 6 at least 20-minute stretching sessions throughout the week. And if I did my math right, that should get me to 10 hours. All right, last question. What small actions can you do right now to bring you closer to your goals? So with YouTube, some of the things that I can start doing are just spending half an hour and brainstorming, just get everything in my brain onto the paper to serve as a catalyst for future videos. Doesn't have to be fully fleshed out ideas, but just little nuggets here and there that I can build off of. I can also spend some time researching how to write more authentically and creatively. I would not call myself a great writer, so I'm trying to get better at that, and spending some time on acquiring that skill set is definitely something I can do to help with these types of goals. And lastly, I can do, hopefully, more casual videos like this one to get me more comfortable in front of a camera, something that's not scripted and I'm just talking to you all like I am now. So let me know if you want to see more of that. With my relationship, I can plan for the proposal. I can start reading a Christian book. So one of those two that I want to read. I've already have one picked out that I can start reading. I can do some research on a Christian podcast, which I've already started doing that research because I am excited for that. And lastly, I can schedule reminders and dates for those 3-month checkups right now. So looking forward to that. And lastly, with my health, I can find a new physical therapist, which I recently did. That's for my ankle. Hopefully that'll all work out. Fingers crossed there. And hopefully that can apply to my back. And speaking of my back, I can research for like 30 minutes or an hour and try to find new workout or stretching routines, that is, to hopefully help with my back. I guess I could help with my ankle too, but hopefully stabilize and strengthen my back. And lastly, with a pain journal is another opportunity that I think I could probably start doing now, which is just writing down scale 1 to 10, how my back is feeling, morning, afternoon, night, and hopefully over time be able to get some themes or trends, that is, to be able to hopefully diagnose this problem and help treat it. Well, that's it. Thank you so much for joining. I'm really and truly grateful if you stayed till the end of the video. Let me know what you think down in the comments. If you do want more wellness and productivity videos, feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. And if you want to do this exercise for yourself, you can pop over to the previous video that I recorded of the mid-year reset that gives more tailored guidance for each one of these little exercises and topics to hopefully give you a positive inflection point in your year. So if so, I'll see you over there.